a couple of videos ago, I made a video about how I was being abused as a child while I was living in my family home. And all my family members were, for the most part, around. And despite all that, I was still being abused. Now, I shared my story because I'd been carrying it for 20 years of my life, 20 years of just carrying around pain that is not serving me in any way, shape, or form. Now, when that video went live, I have some narcissistic family members who wanted and chose to center themselves in my story, in my pain, despite the fact that they were complicit in my abuse. Now, today's, I don't know what to call it. Today's calling out is of my mother. This is the response that she had to me sharing my story about being abused. Now, I will say, as somebody who has real feelings and is for the most part very well regulated, I will say that even now reading these messages, it's so hurtful and it's so disgusting, and it's so disheartening. Also, like it disgusts me. It disgusts me that this is my mother's response. It's so fucking disgusting. But it's also disheartening because this is the person who elected to birth me. And so just thinking about that literally makes me want to vomit. Now, without further ado, we're going to read these messages. And I'm just going to say that one of the reasons why I share these hurtful messages, I mean, okay, on my part, like it really does hurt me. But I share these messages because I know that my experience is in no way unique. And that just adds to the disgust. Like that adds another whole layer to this disgusting ass situation because I'm not unique. So many girl children have narcissistic mothers who basically groom them to be molested, who basically groom them to be abused, or who strategically neglect them to make them vulnerable so that they become, a good target for abusers. So, anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and read these tragic messages. And then on the right is my response, which I stand on 10 toes down. And I'm just hoping that this reaches someone who needs their pain validated and someone who needs to see themselves turn a corner. Okay. All right. So this is what her message says. There's something you said here that had me wondering about something. Was there someone you shared this experience with in the family and they didn't help you? And why not just tell them directly? Right? This is the person who bathed me and then abandoned me, who is asking why I didn't tell someone that I was being abused when I was 5 years old. This is hilarious. I know you're trying to process this. It's just sad it happened, and many apologies. Like, wow, that feels so heartfelt. That feels so sincere. It explains a bit the persistent aggression. No, I'm aggressive because you're bad at your job. It makes living together a challenge for the household. I think this could have been handled differently. Looking at present situation, is this the best forum? You are looking for employment, and the internet does not forget not lie. Does not forget not lie. I don't know what she's trying to say. Unfortunately, you could be tackling a big issue that could possibly work against you. Nothing good ever comes from smearing the people who take care of you. Okay, I don't know why I didn't click read more for you guys, but I think we get the general vibe. And this was my response. I will not take down the video. If a potential employer or business partner thinks that not working with me because I'm a victim of abuse is a legitimate reason to cut me out of a potential deal, then I don't think I want to work with them anyway. I was a child who should have, I was a child. Who should I have told? Like, this, when you're dealing with narcissistic people, it really reveals itself to be like a fucking brain disease. Like, it's like, I was 5. Who should I have told? Like, the one person who I should have told was out there doing God knows what, right? And then let me just move my cursor. What is a vocabulary that I should have used to express my particular situation as a 5-year-old? If the other family members are bothered by me vocalizing my trauma, I don't really think that's my problem because I'm the one who's had to endure this trauma and live with it until now and until the day that I die. Because being abused for 4 years straight by a family member, while the one person who was supposed to give a shit about me as her child was out there doing God knows what, is never, ever, ever until the day that I die. It's never going to be something that never happened to me. It's never going to unhappen, right? This is part of me working through it. In the future, I will also get therapy to help any residual pain or trauma that I might have or that might remain. And I just wanted to share this raggedy ass situation because I know it's not unique. It's not unique to so many of us who were molested, who were strategically neglected by the women who birthed us, so that we can be in a position to be abused by a predator. And I just, even reading this now, it just reinforced all the things that I know about her, but I can't vocalize because, when you're looking at someone and you're trying to, like, I don't know how to put it. You're trying to paint them in a decent light, right? You're trying to paint them in a decent light because you yourself are a decent person. But I think that I've gotten to a point where I can just say that I dislike my mom. In fact, I think I hate her. I think I hate her still, even at 29. I don't think until the day that I die, this will ever be something that I can undo. Like, I don't think that this is something that I can undo. I don't think that she will ever be somebody who I genuinely like, yeah, until the day that I die. And this was her response. Like, this was her knee-jerk response to me sharing something that is difficult, that is triggering, that is scarring, that is deeply wounding. This was her response, and it's so disappointing on every conceivable level. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because there's someone else who's going through this. There's someone else who doesn't have the nerve to call out the people who are actively abusing them, and so I volunteer as tribute. This might heal you, it might not, but in any case, I would rather expose the shitty ass situations that we are having to deal with out here as people who have been abused, as victims of abuse. I am not going to cower because I know that is what they count on from victims, and that is something that they rely on. And I am saying right here and now that I refuse to participate. I refuse to participate. I will not be doing it. Get somebody else to do it. If you're going to come after me and you're going to try to bully me, then please prepare to bully me all over the internet. Prepare for the whole internet and anybody who gives half a damn to know exactly the type of disgusting ass person you are. I'll see y'all in the next video.